Hey, if you're an advanced English learner, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say you've hit a wall. It's so frustrating, right? You've put in all this work, but that feeling of being truly effortlessly fluent just feels out of reach. Well, today we're going to dig into why that happens and, more importantly, how you can finally break through that plateau. So, yeah, this is the big question, isn't it? It keeps so many amazing learners up at night. You've spent hours, you know the grammar rules inside and out, you've got a great vocabulary, and yet that easy, confident flow when you speak just isn't there. It's a total paradox, and it can be really discouraging. So, let's actually unpack what's going on here.
And this is what we call the advanced learner's plateau. It's a really specific kind of challenge. See, it's that huge gap between knowing a lot about the English language from a book and feeling genuinely comfortable in English during a real conversation. You've got the knowledge, but the real-world confidence, that's lagging behind.
Does any of this sound familiar? I bet it does. On one hand, you can pick up a complicated article and read it, no problem. You can follow a university lecture. But then you try to watch a movie without subtitles, or you're in a group of native speakers and it feels like a totally different language. You find yourself hesitating, always searching for that perfect word, and you just don't feel fluent. That disconnect, that's the heart of the plateau. So what's causing this? What's the root of the problem? Well, the single biggest reason is what I like to call the textbook versus reality gap. There is a massive difference between the clean, structured English you learn in a classroom and the messy, dynamic, real English that people actually speak every single day. Just look at this table, it lays out the problem perfectly. The English from our textbooks is slow, it's careful, it's grammatically perfect. But real life, real conversation is the complete opposite. It's fast, it's messy, it's packed with idioms, slang, filler words. People interrupt each other and leave sentences half-finished. It's a totally different ballgame. And it's exactly why just knowing the textbook stuff isn't enough. Okay, so we've laid out the problem pretty clearly. We get it. There's a huge gap. But here's the good news. There is a bridge. There's a really powerful and actually pretty simple way to get from the island of theory over to the mainland of real, confident conversation. So how do we build this bridge? The answer is probably simpler than you think. The single most powerful tool you have to cross this gap is your ears. It is all about listening. But, and this is a big but, it's a very specific kind of listening we need to be doing. What we're talking about here is authentic listening. This just means listening to stuff that was made by native speakers for other native speakers. Think podcasts, interviews, reality TV shows, YouTube videos, anything that's unscripted, natural, and not designed for a language learner. It's the real deal. All the stuff the textbooks conveniently leave out. Now, it's really easy to think, okay, listening improves my understanding, got it. But the real magic, the part that's a total game changer, is how it directly improves your speaking. We're not talking about memorizing vocabulary here. We're talking about your brain just naturally, subconsciously soaking up the flow and the patterns of the language. I love this way of putting it. When you listen to real conversations, you're not just processing words for their meaning. You're absorbing the music of the language. You know, the rhythm, the way someone's voice goes up at the end of a question, the emotion in their tone. This is the stuff that makes you sound natural, not like a robot just reciting rules. And this is a process that builds on itself, you see. First, you start by absorbing that rhythm, that music. From there, your brain starts to automatically internalize common phrases and chunks of language. Then that builds an intuitive sense of grammar. You just start to feel what sounds right instead of trying to remember a rule. And what's the end result of all that? a massive boost in your speaking confidence, because the language finally starts to feel like a part of you.
And hey, if you need more proof, look at this. This is what really makes someone sound fluent to a native speaker. Check it out. Prosody, that's the rhythm and intonation, and natural phrasing make up a whopping 70% of what people perceive as fluency. Vocabulary and grammar, the two things we spend almost all our time on, just 30%. This right here is why authentic listening is your secret weapon. It directly trains the 70% that matters most. Okay, so we know why listening is the key, but how do we do it right? How do we listen in a way that actually works? The secret is to shift from being a passive hearer of words to an active listener of the music. So the next time you're listening to something, I want you to try tuning your ear to a different frequency. Instead of just trying to understand every single word, get curious about how they're talking. Listen for how people politely interrupt each other. Notice all the filler words they use, like like, or you know. Pay attention to how words link together, like want to becoming wanna. These are the tiny, authentic details that will close that gap between sounding like a textbook and sounding like a real person.
And as you're doing all this, please always remember this one crucial thing. The goal of learning a language isn't to be perfect. Honestly, no native speaker is perfect. The real goal, the whole point, is to connect with other human beings. It's to share ideas, to laugh, to understand each other. And listening is the most direct way to build that connection. So I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. What's one real, authentic conversation you can listen to today? Go find a podcast, an interview, a YouTube channel about something you actually love. Just take that first step. Start training your ear to hear the real music of English. I promise your speaking confidence will thank you for it.